In 1987, you could get this Tandy 1400 LT laptop computer weighing 14 pounds and costing $1,599. It runs on a NiCad battery pack. Or you could get this Brother EP5 portable electronic typewriter for $199. It weighs 6.5 pounds and it runs on 5 ordinary D-cell batteries. And it's actually not just a typewriter because it also has a built-in calculator. So if you just needed to get your writing down on paper and do some basic arithmetic, it might not have been such a strange choice to go for a portable battery-powered laptop typewriter instead of a laptop computer. On the bottom is the battery compartment for those 5 D-cell batteries, which I was just about able to scrounge together for this video. Not all of the same type. Also has a carrying handle. On the side is the power switch and a jack for an optional 7.5 volt DC center negative power supply. And unfortunately, unlike some other portable electronic typewriters, or PETs as they were briefly called, this cannot function as a computer printer. There is no parallel or serial port for connecting it to a computer. And it could print directly onto thermal fax paper, or using a cassette ribbon, it can print onto standard paper. And you could order a 3-pack of those ribbons, model 6035 from Brother, for $15.95, including shipping and handling. To operate it, you just open up the cover, turn it on, and stick in your paper. And now you're ready to type. But like all good electronic typewriters, it has a built-in self-demo mode. To activate it, you hold down the code key and press the repeat key. And away it goes. It advertises as whisper quiet printing, and indeed, it's almost completely silent in operation. You can hear the mechanism moving back and forth, but the actual printing is silent. And the print quality is actually not that bad. It's reminiscent of a 24-pin dot matrix printer, although quite a bit slower. You can see there, it actually corrected what it wrote. So it's able to undo mistakes just like a regular electronic typewriter. Advertises 24-character liftoff correction. Memory provides clear correction. And unlike a normal typewriter, it can also do different typefaces, such as bold and expanded typing, which is double width. There it advertises the built-in calculator, 44 international characters, and 13 characters per second print speed. It is really reminiscent of a 24-pin dot matrix printer. You can kind of see the jagginess of the pixels, so it's not perfectly letter quality, but it's certainly a lot better than a 9-pin dot matrix printer, which was in common use when this was new in 1987. And that demo looked all well and good, but in normal operation, it's actually quite easy to out-type this thing. So you have to get good at typing what you want to write without seeing it show up on the paper instantaneously, like it does with a normal electric typewriter. Also, the print head has to move out of the way of what it's printing to let you see what it just printed. So if you're doing very slow typing, it kind of does an awkward dance. Here's a closer look at the cassette ribbon. The ink is actually a coating of black carbon, which the heat of the thermal print head transfers onto the paper. Because of that, it retains a permanent record of everything that's ever been typed on it. And the sprocket that advances the ribbon tape inside the cassette actually doesn't look too dissimilar to that of a cassette tape player. Brother no longer makes the cassette ribbons for this typewriter, and I can't find any aftermarket equivalents that are available either. But the carbon ink doesn't dry out because it's already dry, so any new old stock ribbons you can find will still work fine. There were fancier models of these which included a little one-line LCD to let you see what you're typing before it actually showed up on the paper. And I actually did a video about one of those typewriters many years ago on my channel. They give you a little LCD. It has a short memory for typing in text. Basically, once you type in enough letters to fill up that display, then it starts printing out what you type. So as long as what you type is still on the screen, you can backspace and correct it. But once it scrolls off the screen and prints out, there's no erase on this. But that fancier model didn't have one feature this one has, and that's the lift-off correction. For example, I type 2 S's on the end of mistakes and I want to erase that last letter. I press the correct key and it magically disappears. There is no separate correcting lift-off tape ribbon like on a standard electronic typewriter. This is it. It uses the same ribbon to print and to lift the printed text off the paper using the same print head. The only noticeable difference is that it runs a little bit slower when it's correcting compared to when it's printing. And for some reason it can't do a whole word at a time, it has to do one letter at a time. And because it's not hammering the letters into the paper, there's no visible trace of any text that you've erased. It's like it never even was there. Looking at the ribbon, you can see the difference between a letter it typed and a letter it erased. So I don't know if it runs reverse current through the head to redeposit the carbon back onto the ribbon. It's quite interesting. It also has a half backspace function, so you can also do corrections by squeezing in a letter between 2 other letters. And I'll do code backspace to get a half backspace. And I'll squeeze in an I here, changing the word fling to filing, sort of. As you can see, it also has options to do underline, bold, and expanded text, and it gives you a choice of 3 different print densities. That's the lightest. Then there's a medium, and that's high density. Doesn't make a major difference, but maybe you can see a little bit of difference there. One disadvantage of the thermal print head is that it does not work with carbon copy sheets or multi-part forms. The text on the top layer will be perfectly visible, but the layers underneath will be blank. Here's the calculator mode. 7.1458 divided by 0.2638 equals 27.08794541. It also has the capability to do accents. If you hold down second shift and press the symbol of the accent mark you want, and then type the letter. Although the results are not that impressive. It also has buttons to move the paper up and down half a line, allowing you to do superscripts and subscripts, although they're still full height. So if you have another line of text immediately above or below it, it'll get kind of crowded. And it has all the other typical typewriter features, such as the ability to set margins, to temporarily release the margin to squeeze a few more letters in, to set and clear tabs, to repeat characters, and you can do single, 1.5, or double line spacing. Today it's easy to laugh at the concept of a portable battery-powered typewriter. I mean, what else would they come up with? A portable copying machine? Oh wait, those existed too? Anyway, for quite a while after this machine was made, typing in text to produce printed output was still a primary application for computers. So the ability to do that directly from keyboard to paper in a low-cost portable battery-powered package isn't such a strange idea after all.
You put a piece of carbon paper under your heart and gave me just a copy of your love. Each dove and pigeon all know who got the original. Darling, can't you see what you mean to me? Oh, how you fooled me with those giggles, winks, and nudges. The love that you gave me was a duplicate with smudges. 'Cause you put a piece of carbon paper under your heart and gave me just a copy of your love. Oh, how you fooled me with those giggles, winks, and nudges. The love that you gave me was a duplicate with smudges. 'Cause you put a piece of carbon paper under your heart and gave me just a copy of, gave me just a copy of, gave me just a second sheet of love.